It looks like Kentucky is finally getting the respect they deserve ahead of this upcoming college basketball season. And we've been saying it for months, but it looks like the national media is finally picking up their opinions on the Cats. And we're going to talk about that on today's episode of the Wildcats Today podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak, publisher over at Kentucky Wildcats on SI, joined as always by Carson Nash. Carson's Friday. And we got a little pack the pub action this weekend, huh?
Yeah, we got a packed Gad pub too for our boy. Shout out Jared. It's his 25th birthday this weekend, so got to celebrate that. It's going to be a good time. Get to watch UK South Carolina, and heck, I woke up this morning, turned on the TV, and DeChambeau's already trying to drive hole number one. So I'm already pumped up this morning. Let's go, baby.
You want to talk about and I know it's not going well right now for the Americans early. You got to hope, well, probably when we're recording this, it'll be decided. Well, when you all see it, it'll be decided. We're recording this in the morning. But, I mean, what about waking up to see DeChambeau just fire you up? You know what I mean? Like, that's a good energy boost to start the day.
Oh, yeah.
Just DeChambeau murdering golf balls. That gets me fired up. With an American flag, like, yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah, America.
Seriously. But, Carson, the big exciting news, I think, this week in Kentucky basketball, the world of Kentucky hoops, was an article that came out from Isaac Trotter, who he worked for CBS Sports and also 24/7 Sports. And he did his college basketball rankings, projecting the top 25 teams, and he kind of updated these throughout the offseason. And finally, the Kentucky Wildcats are inside of the top 5 at number 4 overall in these rankings. Something that we've felt they deserved all offseason, Carson, but it seems like people are starting to buy in. So obviously it's just noise. We got to go prove it on the floor, but how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I think it's finally, well-deserved. I mean, most of these people have put us within the top 10, but not necessarily in the top 5. And I think, like I said, it's well-deserved. I mean, you've got guys, you've got old guys, you've got young guys that can contribute, you've got physicality, you've got defense, you've got everything you need on this team to make a top 5 team. And the emergence of Jalen Lowe becoming a star is only going to help propel us into that top 5.
That's funny. I was just going to ask you, what do you think led to this? And I was expecting you to say Jalen Lowe. But ironically, and they make a great point, I think, on here, because I agree with them. And what Trotter says in this article that I don't – it might sound negative. I don't think it's negative. But he says who's going to run the point center and how good is our point guard, Jalen Lowe, going to be is what decides if Kentucky's going to be really good or great. That's what's going to decide it. And I think that right now, based on that ranking, he is leaning toward Jalen Lowe being really good. That's kind of my take here. You just kind of figure that because he has moved us up those rankings, that he believes Jalen Lowe is going to be good, because that's been the big offseason thing, Carson. Everyone said that. I mean, everybody that has paid attention to this Kentucky basketball team has said if they want to be an excellent basketball team, if they want to compete for a national championship, that point guard from Pitt is going to have to be special. And what he's done so far this summer, I think, is giving Big Blue Nation, giving the national media confidence that that is going to become a reality.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think Lowe becoming the point guard that we need is huge. And I think based off of what we've heard in practice, he is becoming that guy. He's becoming the vocal leader that a team needs the point guard to be. And I think it's going to be a completely Ortega, Jalen Lowe driven team. I think it starts and ends with both of those guys. If they can both contribute to their max potential, I think this team can definitely get to the national championship and win it.
Well, we've talked about, and I think the other reason Lowe has to be so good is we've talked about how you don't have a lot of, natural point guards. A lot of people say Aberdeen. Aberdeen's he can play point guard. I still think he's a combo guard. And I lean toward him being more on that 2 side. Yeah, he can play the point guard. He did it last year at Florida, and he did it well. But I'm just saying when it comes to natural point guards, I think Lowe's the only one on the roster. Natural point guards, what I'm saying. I'm not saying that we don't have guys that can play point guard. saying natural. They are point guards.
Speaking of Mr. Aberdeen, I've heard some really good things about him. Said that he's a defensive dog. He can shoot the ball, and he's elite at getting to the rim. So him and Ortega, both of them being able to get to the rim at will is going to be huge for this team because it's going to make defenses collapse. And you already know we kind of play our spacings well. We got the 5 out most of the time. So all those lanes are going to be open, and the defense is going to have to collapse in, and they're going to be able to kick out to open shooters, which just makes life easier for everybody on the team.
So it sounds to me like he is a versatile, well-rounded basketball player, Aberdeen. If you can get to the rim, if you can shoot the ball, and you can defend, then you can do everything on the basketball court. And that makes a team really, really good when they aren't one-dimensional.
Our combo guard position has some of the craziest athletes. I mean, you've got Ortega Owe, insane athlete. Denzel Aberdeen, insane athlete. And Colin Chandler, insane athlete. So you've got defense, shooting, and athleticism between all 3 of those guys, and they're all leaders. So it's going to be fun to watch and watch their growth throughout this season.
Yeah. I think one of the big gripes of the Calipari era was we have incredible athletes, but they aren't basketball players.
Low IQ.
And we often lose to basketball players. We're the better athletic team by a wide, significant margin, but they're better at shooting and basketball IQ and things like this. We get the athletes and those guys, but they aren't basketball players. This year, I think we have both. And I'm not saying both is in some are athletes and some are basketball players. I'm saying everyone on this roster is a freak athlete with a high basketball IQ and a high ability to shoot the ball, get to the rim, and we're not one-dimensional. That's the thing. You don't want to be the team that all they do is we've got, high flyers and we dunk and you can't shoot and you can't do anything really.
And going off of that point, we were somewhat one-dimensional last year. When we weren't making our threes, it was like, sayonara, buddy. We're not winning this game because we couldn't keep the game within pace with our defense, and so we could never catch up. And so this year is going to be a whole lot different. I think it starts with defense, and then the offensive end is going to kind of reap the benefits of that.
Yeah, I think our transition offense is going to be so good this year because I think we're going to create so many turnovers, get so many long rebounds where we're just running, boom, boom, go, go.
Yeah, if you got Mo D in there and either Malachi, JQ, or Brandon, you tell them to crash hard and then say, hey, Cam and hey, Jasper, go ahead and run down the court and get in your position, and we're going to move.
Yeah. And a team, I just think the most fun basketball teams are the teams that are elite in transition, where it's like as soon as we get the ball, we're running, we are going, and we're trying to score some points, and that's just a fun team to watch. So,
and it helps to have a guy like Mo D and a guy like Malachi or BG or JQ because you can send 2 guys to crash the defensive boards. And you have the other guys leak out for easy offensive opportunities just because you're going to get the rebound with Mo D and JQ in there, and you won't have to worry about offensive rebounds as much.
No, I completely agree. I think that it's going to be different this year because we were a good basketball team last year. We're going to be a great basketball team this year. And, I mean, every time that someone goes, field of 68s at practice, every time that we hear a report, it's positive. We hear good things. We hear how special this team's going to be. So, I mean, I think that a lot of Big Blue Nation, Carson, and of course you and I have thought this is a top 5 basketball team for a long time now, right? But I think people are starting to buy in. And it's not like we were ranked 24. I mean, I don't remember where we were in his rankings, but it was definitely – worst case scenario was 12. The lowest place I've seen us ranked is 12, and I've seen us 7 through 12 is where we've been.
The funny thing to me, Andrew, is that the team practicing in the Joe Kraft Center right now without Ortega and JQ to me is a top 15 team, maybe top 12. So adding in Ortega and JQ is just absolutely terrifying.
And I think you're right about that. And what's so funny about that is those are probably our 2 best players, right?
Yeah.
On paper. And I agree with you. I think that this basketball team without those guys is still a top 25 team, top 15 maybe. If guys like Cam Williams and Colin Chandler and Jasper Johnson and Jalen Lowe are great. Yeah.
And like you said, we've heard good things about those guys to lead us to believe that they are going to make an impact. So that's really exciting.
No, I'm with you on that. So it's just great to see us. And once again, this, Mark Pope wants to push the Kirby Smart narrative of they have us fourth. We're the best team. That they're sleeping. They're hating on us. You know what I mean? Coach Pope doesn't want us to be ranked in the top 5. He wants us.
No,
he
we
wants
don't
our
want the
team
rat poison.
exactly.
Don't take the rat poison.
So what I'm saying is the players and the coaches don't care about stuff like this, but us as fans, we're allowed to. We're allowed to care about stuff like this. It's part of the fun of it's part of the fun of leading up into the season. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to care about it. But this team, they've got one mission, and they could care less about where they're ranked by a national media member on September 26th. They don't care. So, but for us, exciting stuff because we agree. Carson, you've got some practice report stuff to run through for us. What have you been hearing about practice?
Yeah, so they put out a thing the other day that basically what we were talking about earlier, that Jalen Lowe is emerging himself as a leader. He's becoming a star. He's communicating well with his teammates, great team chemistry. I've also heard really good things about Cam Williams. It kind of seems more up and down with him. Like maybe one day will be not as great, and then the next day he'll go and rattle off 10 straight threes, right? So he's one of those guys that can get hot and get hot quick. So he reminds me of like a back in the day whenever Tyler Hero was here. If he made his first shot, he's dropping 30. Like that's what Cam Williams reminded me of. He gets hot quick. I'm a little not concerned about Yelovich yet, but I think he needs to work himself into that team chemistry aspect. I know he's a lights out shooter as of now for practice. But I think he just needs to get more accustomed to how Pope's system runs and everything, because I mean, he came in and I watched sources say the other night, and Malachi McLean was on there, and he was talking about how he came in and his body was already right because he's already been in a pro organization. So they don't have to go in and make him do all this conditioning and everything. He's already ready to play. It's just getting accustomed to his teammates, feeling the team chemistry, all that good stuff. So I think he'll be just fine. Another big that I've heard great things about is Malachi Moreno. And I mean, me and you have known that for a while. I've been big on Malachi ever since after that U19 tryout that he had and had to leave because he got injured, but he would have easily made that team. I think the big man from Georgetown is going to be elite. He's 7'1", maybe. He's massive. He has great touch. He can shoot the ball, and he just bullies people basically down low. He's bigger than you, so he's just going to dunk on you. And then, we've heard good things about all the other guys as well. Like, I mean, Otega and JQ are out, so you have to take that with a grain of salt. But I've heard this team is clicking well. So adding Otega and JQ back to the mix only takes us to that next level. Yeah.
Now, what are obviously there's been some negative reports about Yelovich, and negative is in like, it's not like people are going, well, this guy stinks. It's more like he's got to get adjusted. But what have been the negative things that you've heard about him? Because there's got to be some more concrete stuff to me than just he's got to get more adjusted. So I guess, like, has there been anything in specific, Carson, that you've heard that he's been struggling with?
Not necessarily. If I were to say anything, it'd probably just be getting up to game speed. Because United States basketball is different than European basketball. So coming in, I genuinely don't, and I'm not concerned about Yelovich in the slightest. I think he'll pick it up. It's just, to me, he got here not too long ago. Like I said, I think it has more to do with the team chemistry and knowing where to be on the court than it does anything else in his athletic ability.
Because I'm just not worried about him.
I'm not either.
Like, exactly. I'm just saying, like, I think he's a really good basketball player, and whatever his struggles have been, good basketball players find ways to succeed. He's going to be fine, and I know you agree with that. I'm just, to me, it's like, I get it. There might be, maybe it's the adjustment's not going as smoothly as we would all hoped in his first month here. I'm just not worried about it. I think this kid's a stud. I think he's a great player. I think he can shoot. He's lengthy. He can block shots. He can rebound. I think he's a player that I think he can be a better Andrew Carr for us. That's what he can be, a better Andrew Carr. And I think right now, even he's probably close to what Andrew Carr was last year, if not, already what he was last year. And if he keeps developing and learning the system over the next month, then you've got a better Andrew Carr.
Well,
And
I had a birdie tweet in my ear that Andrew Carr might have even suggested himself that that's the case. So because he was at practice a couple weeks ago, so he was really pumped about Yelovich. So that's always really good to hear.
And that's the first time you've ever gotten to talk about a birdie. So that's good to hear.
No. You know, we birdieing tomorrow. We're taking down Jared and Clay in that golf series.
And you all won last week too, right?
Yeah, we're trying to make it 3-0. It's our own little version of the Ryder Cup.
Yeah. But I mean, it sounds like that's just pure and utter domination. And I mean, you want to talk about playing with the hand tied behind your back. It sounds like that's what you're doing, and you're still finding the way to win. So we'll take it. That's good to hear. That is good to hear.
Yeah.
But so any other stuff on practice, Carson, before we talk a little bit about the South Carolina-Kentucky football game?
That's all I got. I'm excited that the guys are looking really good. It seems like everybody on the team has great team chemistry. They're all great human beings. So it's going to be really fun to root for these guys and support them throughout the season.
And it should be pretty easy to do it as well because they're going to be really damn good.
Yeah.
So, this is a big football game coming up on Saturday, Carson. This is a South Carolina team that is coming into this game. I mean, they are really they're underachieving so far. You know, they were ranked, what were they to start the season? They were 13 to start the season, and then they get absolutely steamrolled by Pavia. You know, Lenore Sellers gets hurt in that game, but still, I'm just telling you, I don't think it would have made a difference because I think that Vandy is a damn unit. I mean, they're awesome. And then they go to Columbia, Missouri, and take on. And it was a ball game. They were ahead. Going into the fourth quarter. It was 20-18, and then an 11-0 run. Missouri scores 11 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to win this game 29-20. So I'm not saying South Carolina is a bad football team. They're not a bad football team, but they aren't as good as people thought they were. And Sellers has not been as good as people thought. You know, I mean, he just hasn't. I mean, his stats were okay the other day. He was 18 for 28, 302 yards, 2 touchdowns. QBR is 68.9. But, you know, I mean, he hasn't been as good. People were acting like he was, one of the top Heisman guys, and he hasn't looked like that. Mm-hmm. But there's, a couple players that, you got to watch out for on South Carolina. And the number one name on that list for me is Dylan Stewart. The edge rusher. How many total sacks did he have last year? He only had 6.5. Felt like it was more than that.
I think he had 4 against Kentucky.
Yeah, I think that actually might be right. I mean, or at least it felt like it. But this kid's a stud, man. And we got to block him because if not, it's going to be a long day of for Mr. Cutter Bowley if we can't block for him.
Yeah. No, I agree. You gotta scheme game plan away from that guy. It's like when you're playing Aiden Hutchinson or something with the Lions, you're always going to roll out left. Like you're not going to roll towards him. So you gotta scheme against him. And I think two of my keys to this game are going to be our rushing offense because they're 80th in rushing defense. So they can't really stop the run all that well. Yeah. So I think we're going to have long sustained drives, just pounding the rock, get Seth McGowan going, Dante Dowdell, and then have Cutter swing the rock a little bit, some mid routes, and just kind of chew the clock and let them, because here's my other key to the game. They only convert on third down 30% of the time. Yeah. So when you're on defense, you have to get off the field on third down. You can't let them convert third downs. And if you don't let them convert third downs, you're pretty much going to get good field possession. And then you just run the rock and kill time and try to win that way. So I think there's a lot of things that shape up well for UK in this game, but those two are really the key components for me.
I mean, just looking at this stats I got pulled up right here. Offensively, they're the 15th best team in the SEC, and defensively, they are the 12th. So, I mean, they are near the bottom of both of these categories now. On the flip side of that, we're not much better. We're 12th on offense and 13th on defense. But my point is, I think a lot of people are looking at this game as if we're playing the South Carolina team that we anticipated playing, and that's not the team I think that we're playing. Like you said, their rushing offense is pretty good. It's 16th in the SEC. So yeah, it's the worst. They run for 80 yards a game. And then their rushing defense, like you said, it's not anything, it's nothing special. And I think that we're going to be able to run the football on this team. Passing, they're 13th on offensively, and defensively they're 10th. So I mean, the point of this and these stats tell me that they are vulnerable all over the field. Like, they're not elite, and it seems like any category. So this game's going to come down to, and I hate to say it, you hate to keep putting it on the young man, but Cutter Bull is going to have a good game. And he's going to be pressured. That's one thing. I mean, South Carolina is going to get pressure on him. That's one they do get some pressure. So knowing that there's going to be some pressure on him, you've got to find a way to get the football out. Like I said, roll away from Stewart.
Quick routes or runs. Don't be taking all these deep ball shots, because it's going to set us behind the chains, because one instance we don't get open, Dylan Stewart gets back there, and now it's 2nd and 16 instead of 1st and 10,
or
and then
balls on the ground.
Yeah, and then you don't have a chance. So for me, it's you got to get ahead of the chains. You got to. I think you run on first down most of the time. You got to get it to within. You want like 2nd and 4, that kind of area, because you don't want to have to take big shots, giving them chances to get sacks and flip the game. Because another key for me is win the turnover battle. I think if you win the turnover battle, you take long sustained drives, and you win the game on defense and get off the field on 3rd down. I think you can win this game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel fairly confident that we can win this game. Like, I just feel good about this football game. I think that we're going to ugly it up. We're going to make this look really, really, really ugly. And you're going to look at this game, and it's going to be one, it's not going to be fun to watch. But that's good for Kentucky. And that is one thing. It's kind of funny, but like, that's what Kentucky football is right now. We're playing games where if it's not fun to watch, Kentucky's got a shot. I'd like to get back to being a football team where we're fun to watch, because we're not fun to watch. But at the end of the day, if we win a game, then we're fun to watch.
Yeah.
If you lose a game and we're not fun to watch, then we're really not fun to watch. But
I will say this feels like a do or die game for both teams, because I think South Carolina had really high hopes coming into the season. They haven't filled those shoes. And then for Kentucky, this is the game to see, like, hey, how's the rest of the season going to end up? Because if you win this game, you get some momentum. Maybe you have a chance at winning a couple more. But if you lose this game, I feel like it could be a turn for the worse. Same with South Carolina. If they win this game, they get more momentum. They can kind of try to get back to where they want to be. And if they lose this game, they have 3 losses already. So it's going to be rough for them to get to where they want to be.
Well, here, I'll tell you this. How much more winnable does Florida look?
A lot more winnable.
You know what I mean? And so my point is, if you beat South Carolina, and you obviously add that Tennessee Tech win. So let's say we beat South Carolina, Tennessee Tech, there's 4 wins right there. You're looking for 2 more to get to a bowl game. And I mean, I think, could you beat Vandy? I think there's a way in the world. I think there's a way in the world you could beat Vandy. I think they're good. I think Vandy's a good football team. I mean, I'm just saying, I think it's more winnable than Tennessee.
I think like if I were putting out a line at it right now, I'd say like Vandy 2.5 if we were playing down there right now. Just because I know Vandy's won big in some games, but like to me, it's still Vandy. Like they don't have the talent that other teams have.
Man, you're right. You're right. And I do believe this. Vandy will go back to fully being Vandy.
When Pavia is done with his 19th season, they're cooked.
Yeah. I think Vandy will go back to being Vandy. But I'll tell you this, Carson, I think they're really good. And I do. I think it's going to be over a touchdown, frankly. I think if we played in Nashville today, that line's 7.5.
Yeah, I'm putting the house on that.
That's fine. I'm just telling you, I think that
plus Kentucky always plays good in Nashville.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying they're not going to go win it. I'm not saying I think that line might be wrong.
And
I'm just saying
I might be down there concocting the beer snake of the year. So there could be some there could be some outside influence into this win.
You can like walk out. You're gonna have to get like 15 people to carry it while you walk out.
Yeah.
Beer snake of the year. Oh man. But I mean, I'm just telling you, if now I do think Vandy is going to be limping in. Listen. So Vandy plays Utah State. They should, beat the crap out of them. Listen to what Vandy's got after that until us. You ready for this? At Bama, LSU at home, Missouri at home, at Texas, Auburn at home.
Oh, they could lose all those games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see a way in the world they win more than 2 of those football games.
No, that's a tough go of it right
there. There's that has the chances at 0-5, but I still think
honestly for us to get to a bowl game to where we want to be, we need them to lose all those games. We need them to have no momentum coming into our game. We want them to be a dead football team by the time we play them.
But I'm just telling you, if we beat South Carolina, Florida, and Tennessee Tech, right? And I think we're going to beat Florida at home. I hate to say it because and Carson and I, we'll tell you when we write about something, and we'll tell you about when Lagway has looked like poo. I mean,
I kind of feel bad for Lagway a little bit though too, because I don't think G5 Billy is deserving of the Florida job. I've been this way since he got hired. I think it was a terrible hire. I do not think he's a good coach. He has a losing record against Kentucky. I just think that Billy Napier is not the man for the Florida job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I think Lagway is the type of guy that if they fire, which I don't see how Napier keeps his job.
If we beat Florida, he's gone while he's walking to the Griffin Gate Marriott. I mean, he's gone before he touches back to the hotel.
He's going to be getting his tray at cookout and hey, buddy, find a ride home. I think there's a bus that leaves at like 6:00. Take you back to Gainesville. Get your stuff.
Where did he come from again? I forget.
Arkansas State or something like that.
Was it?
Let me see.
I don't remember. I was going to say send him back.
Now I'm curious. Billy Napier.
Was it Louisiana Lafayette?
That's what it was. That's what it was. The Région Cajuns. Yeah, the Région Cajuns. But so I think that this South Carolina game, if you win, I think a bowl game, and this happens every year. When you look at the Kentucky schedule, we all said to ourselves, well, there's no way in the world they're going to win these. You know what I mean? They're going to win this. But like now Florida doesn't look as good. Now South Carolina doesn't look as good. So I'm just saying the opportunities are there, right? Yeah. I think a bowl game is back there, but you have to win this one. Have to.
I mean, you win this one, you set yourself up super well because then you got Tennessee Tech, Vandy, and then Louisville's a rivalry game. And at rivalry games, you never know what's going to happen. So I think they're not as much better as people think that they are than us, but I mean, they are better than us, but it's a rivalry game, and so anything can happen. We've seen it in the past. I mean, heck, we beat Lamar Jackson when we thought we were 28-point underdogs, and we went in there and beat Lamar Jackson. So anything can happen.
Yeah, I'm just saying, a bowl game is back in play if you win. If you win on Saturday, a bowl game is back in play. If you lose, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree. I think this is the biggest game of the season. I don't even think it's close. I think this determines our season. Saturday night.
Yeah. So what is your Saturday night going to look like? Do you have any big plans for watching the game?
Yeah. Like we kind of alluded to at the beginning of the show, it's Jared's birthday. Woo, woo. Yeah. We're going to go pack the pub, Gad Pub 2. We're going to have all our boys over there. Everybody's going to have a good time. We're going to watch the Cats, and hopefully we're watching the Reds get locked into the playoffs there on Saturday night. That would be a lot of fun too, but we got to see how that goes.
Well, the $1 billion team's playing like it this week, so those damn Mets. I wish my team had $1 billion. Don't you wish your team had $1 billion instead of 52 and a Skyline Chili Coney? That's what we have to offer. $52 in a Skyline chili coney, and they have 100 billion crypto Bitcoin dollar trillions. Like it makes me so angry. It should be a level playing field. It's not. It's bullcrap. But whatever.
He's like Ellie. We want you to come back. I'm re-signing you. 3 Skyline chili dogs and $5. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you're getting. It kind of reminds me of Jared's NIL deal to join our softball team.
Yeah,
but so big football game on Saturday, and I'm excited. I'm just gonna be honest with you, Carson. I didn't anticipate being excited for this.
I know. I'm pumped. I've been thinking about it all week, and I wasn't planning to be excited, but I'm excited about it.
What's our money line, by the way? Have you checked that?
We're 5.5 point underdogs.
So what does that put us like 200, maybe plus 200? You got to guess the money line.
I didn't even check. I'd say probably around there somewhere.
Because I don't hate it. Oh, you can bet on the Ryder Cup. Cool. All right. You have any guesses on our money line?
I 235.
Okay. It is. Ooh, 164.
Oh, dang.
I'm a little surprised by that. I would have guessed over 200 for sure. So there you go.
They like the Cats. Looks like.
But it's just like I said, it's exciting to be excited about this game because we didn't anticipate this. We anticipated going, oh boy, we're gonna this will be we'll be watching Alabama Georgia by halftime, or is that game is that the one?
It's at 7:30. We're at 7:45. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I'd have been anticipating having that game on within the first quarter, but no, I mean we have a shot. Real shot.
Oh yeah, I think we can win it. And I think I feel a little bit better too after last week. Ole Miss went in and just dominated Tulane. Mm-hmm. So that made me feel a bit better about everything because we played Ole Miss really close. Should have won the game. And to see them go out and whoop Sumrall like that was good for us, in my opinion, as much as I wanted Tulane to win. But I think it means we're a pretty good team.
Didn't help my parlay one bit, did it? Nope. No, it didn't.
Didn't help mine.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, that is all I've got today, Carson. You got anything else before we call it a week?
That's all I got.
Yep. Hey, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. We would really appreciate that. Helps the show out a ton. Big weekend. We got a big weekend of college football, big weekend of Reds baseball, big weekend of Ryder Cup. Fun sports weekend, fun weekend to be in Lexington, Kentucky. Hope everyone has a great rest of their Friday, and we'll see you next time right here on the Wildcats Today podcast.